Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia, and welcome to our live video series. It is Tuesday, October 6th, 2020, and we're taking a look at the 2020 Kia Rio LX Plus. So we're taking a risk here. We're going live with the bottom of the line car, and we're going to hope that we have an audience for this. So we're going to talk about what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy. Right today, we're going to talk about should you buy this now or should you wait for next generation, and we'll talk about what might happen on a next generation. And we're going to do all that in about 3 minutes time. So if you're watching us and you're not live, you can skip ahead to the 3 minute mark. If you're watching us and you are live, or not even if you're live, if you want to figure out how to join us weekdays, we do this every weekday on YouTube. Now, tomorrow I will not be here. Tomorrow I have to be somewhere else. But if you go to YouTube and you just search for Brantford Kia, you're going to find us right there. You're probably already on us right now. If you refresh the page exactly at 2 o'clock, Eastern time, you will see one of two things. Sometimes you see our live video right here. Today, we're not going to see that. So then what you do is you go to the videos tab. You see the videos right there. You click live now right there, and you're into our live video. So a couple of our regulars are showing up here. Let's be honest, I'll be impressed if we have a good audience because a lot of our audience tunes in for the technology and all kinds of things. And here we are tuning into a vehicle that is not loaded with technology, and I think that's one of its terms. So let's just jump over here. All right, so I can see some of your comments. When's the next generation Kia Rio coming out? Any idea on trims and prices? We're going to talk about that in a couple minutes. Let's see. Okay, there we go. That's just big enough so that I can see it on the big screen over there, so I can glance across if I miss it. 7 of you are on. If any of you wants to hit the like button right now, I don't know how many likes I'm going to get for a base level car. I want to say real quickly, I quite like this car, but we're going to talk about a very careful line you need to walk with this car on why you should buy this car and then why you should buy different cars. So this one right here, we've sold 3 of these just in the past week, so it's not like it doesn't sell. It does sell for us, and they're great little cars, but we're going to talk about which trim lines you should buy, which trim lines you should avoid. And yes, even though I work at a Kia dealer, I'm going to tell you to avoid some trim lines of the Kia Rio unless you want to buy it. We'll talk about that as well. We're going to talk about updates to this model, and we're also going to talk about what might be coming just based on international news. I have nothing official from Kia Canada, but we can talk about some of that as well. So we're going to go a little bit outside the lines here. We're going to talk about things that I don't usually talk about, and hopefully we're going to entertain you a little bit and inform you for sure. And we'll do that in about 30 seconds. So just so everybody knows, if you're tuning in, you're one of the regulars. Tomorrow is Wednesday the 7th. I am not here tomorrow, so I will not be doing a live video. I'll be back on Thursday and Friday. And then we have Canadian Thanksgiving, or as I like to call it, real Thanksgiving, because the Americans always have their Thanksgiving, which they seem to call just Thanksgiving, not American Thanksgiving. So just want to throw that out there and send a little knock to our American friends. And here we go. We are at 3 minutes. All right, 3 minutes in. Here we go. This is the 2020 Kia Rio LX Plus. And we're going to talk about this car, and we're going to talk about walking a really fine line of why you should buy this car and when you shouldn't buy this car, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy it. It just means that I'll give my opinions on a few of these things. So real quick, let's take a look at where we are in the Kia lineup. And we'll start there. Let me just jump over to Kia Canada's website, which is a pretty good website. All right, so what we have is LX Plus manual transmission. You can see a really, oh, that's not right. Let's go one more over. We have LX manual transmission. You can see a really attractive price. You're not going to buy this car. It has no air conditioning. It has no cruise control. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy a car without air conditioning. I'm just saying if you can find it, good for you. No Kia dealer wants to stock this car. Great for fleet sales, great for certain things. It's got black door handles. If you've seen a Kia Rio with black door handles, that and another color paint color, that's impressive because nobody really wants to carry this car. You might find it, but certainly it's not something that we're trying to stock here. LX Plus manual transmission, interesting car. We have stocked these ones. It adds air conditioning and cruise control, and that's actually, yeah, that's a good little car to buy. LX Plus is where I would buy this car. That's what we have in front of us today. You can see a few things. It's got air conditioning, cruise control, heated steering wheel, heated front seats, and a rear view camera. Now, to be fair, every one of these have a heated steering wheel and heated front seats. So that's the LX Plus right here. All right, moving on to the next level, you have an EX model. Fancier wheels, pretty nice. In the past, I would have said definitely buy this car. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Uvo Intelligence, sunroof, smart key push button start, LED positioning lights, really great value car. Only catch is you also start digging into that Forte price, and the Forte also has Android Auto, also has Apple CarPlay. A little bit more car size-wise, and that's something you want to consider. Now, moving up to the sport model, again, sunroof is pretty nice in this car as well. You're not going to get the sunroof at that price in a Forte. EX Sport model looks great. Americans don't have this. Bigger wheels, looks sharp, fun to drive, sporty styling. All these are fun to drive. We'll talk about that. You get LED taillights, rain sensing wipers. Basically, you get the bigger wheels, the sunroof, that kind of thing. I'm going to go with probably not the buy for everyone. Probably should be moving into the Forte at that price range. Now, that being said, if you like the styling of that car, you like some of the features, you want to get UVO intelligence, you want to get some of those things, absolutely buy it. But if you are a value buyer, that's probably why you're looking at the Kia Rio. And a value buyer should be right here in the LX Plus lineup. So that's where we are. All right, Jasmine's here. She's from the States. I made fun of American Thanksgiving a while ago, so she'll have to go back and watch that later. All right. Didn't make fun of it. I'm just saying it's not the real Thanksgiving. American Thanksgiving is exactly that, American Thanksgiving. All right. Okay. Canadian Thanksgiving's this weekend. That's why I'm talking about it for those of you that don't know. And we have that coming up. So next week, Monday, I will not be here because I will be camping because I tend to camp anytime I can. All right, here we go. 2020 Kia Rio. Now, a couple things that you probably won't notice by glancing at the spec sheet. This car has a new engine for 2020. It used to be a gasoline direct injection. It used to go around the back of the car. You saw GDI written on the back. It's not GDI anymore. It's multi-port injection. What does that mean? Not a whole lot to you. Just a little difference. They put a multi-port engine in and they put an IVT transmission in. Now, the IVT transmission was first brought to us in the Kia Forte. The 2019 Kia Forte was the first to see it. Since that time, we've put it in our Kia Soul. We've put it in the Kia Seltos. It's in every Forte unless it's the turbo model. It's also in the Rio now. And here's the thing about IVT transmissions. A lot of people used to hate CVT transmissions. You can hate them for various reasons, but where they're really good is efficiency. And where they're especially good is in cars with smaller engines, not a ton of power, and you used to get real jerky shifts from these smaller cars because they'd have to go way up in the rev, not way up, but they'd have to rev a little higher than something like a Kia Sorento kind of thing. So they would rev a little bit, then they would drop down, they would rev a little bit, drop down. The IVT transmission smooths out the drive of this car by a lot. It's excellent in this car. So it really transforms the way this car drives. And when we talk about this subcompact car class of cars, they're not huge sellers. They just, everybody's kind of abandoned this segment. We're still in it, but this transmission really makes this car drive smooth and makes it feel like a more luxurious car, a nicer car, and a more up-to-date car. So little simple thing that you're not going to see in this video, but if you're looking at 2019 versus 2020, go for the 2020 if you can, because the transmission in this car drives better. It transforms the way it drives, and I really like it. It makes a lot of sense in these economy cars, and they get better fuel efficiency. So speaking of fuel efficiency, we always used to go with manual transmissions for fuel efficiency. Not so much anymore. 7.2 and 5.9 is what it's rated for in liters per 100 kilometers. I don't have an issue exceeding that. Anything with our IVT transmission, I have a pretty good ability to exceed those fuel efficiency numbers. So that's something that's really good to know because people are looking at these cars, again, as a value buy, as something that you can, you can spend a little bit of money on this car, you'll have more money for other things. And that's really a good case for this car. This isn't about getting a cheap car because it's all you can afford. It's about getting a really good car, new, that maybe you want to keep for a while. But again, having money left over for other things. And we're going to talk about that money left over for other things in a minute. Let's take a look along the front side here. This particular trim line has the regular headlights. Now you can get the projector beam headlights. I'm a big fan of projector beam headlights. We have them on most of our cars. The Rio does not have them. There's nothing wrong with these lights. We've used them for generations for cars. The difference is the projector beam headlights that are the round ones give a little bit sharper cutoff. But again, not a huge deal breaker on this one. You can get those projector beam headlights, and then you would have LED accent lights around. No LED lighting on the front of this car. No other lighting at all. Now, keeping in mind, that simplifies things. If you're buying this car purely as a value buy, hey, there's Garth. He'll happily sell you this car. He won't sell you his lunch. Actually, he did sell this car. That's right. Down here, you're going to see there's no other lighting in there. So again, no extra bulbs to replace. Those are the kinds of things that you think about when you're value buying. If you've got fog lights, one day you're going to have to replace a fog light bulb. One day there may be corrosion in the fog lights and those kinds of things. So those are things that you don't have to worry about when you get a simple car. Another reason to get this car, no alloy wheels. Now again, alloy wheels, everybody likes the look of the alloy wheels. These are just wheel covers. These wheel covers look pretty sharp. They have a little bit of a tint to them, so they're not the silver color anymore. They're a little bit darker color. The reason why you want to get these, if you buy snow tires, if you buy winter tires, you can keep the wheels looking the same. But the other thing is simplicity. Again, less cost. If you rub them up against a curb, you're just rubbing a little plastic piece there. And so that is something to keep in mind. Simplicity is key. Still have painted mirrors, painted door handles, simple stuff that you wouldn't think about because you've seen so many high-end cars, but that's the point. This doesn't look like a base car. Coming out back, you do have nice design to the lighting. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And you have a nicer, higher level design on LED lights in the back of the higher trims, but this one doesn't have that, and that's okay. Backup cameras are now standard on everything, so I'd love to tell you it's a great feature on this car, but it's just kind of standard on everything. But a nice clean look. You've got the sort of spoiler up top. We're going to hop inside now, and we're going to talk about value. And again, money left over for other things. If cars are just a tool for you, and for a lot of people they really are, and probably they should be for some people, this is a great car. All right, let's take a look real quick. First of all, a lot of these tiny cars, and this isn't that tiny. Love to see the trunk later on, no problem. We're going to work our way around to the trunk. So just so you all know, we're going to spend about a half an hour with this car. We're going to go through the driver's seat. We're going to look at the trunk in a little bit. We're going to go in the back seat. I'll even sit in the middle of the back seat in this car because I'm 6 feet tall, and we're going to find out if I fit. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Let me just take the key out for a second. It's dinging, and it's driving me crazy. You probably can't hear it as well as I can. Oh, I just sprayed windshield wiper fluid. Look what I did. Almost got myself. That's pretty funny. That could have gone poorly for me. All right, we're good. Remind not to do that again. Okay. Almost sprayed myself there. All right, here we go. So the seats in this car, a lot of these small cars, they do two things. They try to make them lightweight because lightweight is good for fuel efficiency, and they try to make them just a little bit smaller so that nobody's comfortable in them. That's not a good idea. Kia doesn't do that. These are comfortable seats. They fit me just fine. They've got a height adjustment there, so that's what that big lever is. You've got the rear adjustment, which tilts the back in and out, but this right here, pump it up to go up, push it down to go down, and you have good adjustment there, and you're comfortable. This particular car has tilt steering wheel, but not telescopic steering wheel. Pretty common stuff for back in the day. You can get telescopic steering wheel when you move up a trim line or two, but just tilt steering wheel in this car. And again, not a huge deal. I think most people are going to be able to get pretty comfortable in this. As we move into different kinds of cars, I really like the telescopic wheel as well. But you're probably not taking this on 500-kilometer drives every single day. This is not your vacation car, although some people will vacation in it every now and then. This is more of a commuter car you're going to drive every day, and I think that's perfectly fine for where we are. How far do you have to squat to get in? You know what, Jasmine? I'll show you in a minute. We'll just show me getting in, and you can make that decision yourself. All right, I'm going to turn the key on. Before we get to the key, Kia's older style key. Nothing wrong with this key. Some people complain that these little bars here aren't big enough, and some people accidentally hit those buttons there. So newer keys have put the buttons along the side here. But I don't find that I've ever had an issue with that. It just depends on who you are. I think it's worse on our keyless cars. This is a keyed car. It's a jackknife style key. You can see it just looks like that in your pocket. So pretty simple. Pop this open like that. And a keyed car. We all know how key cards work. Keyed cars work. All right, turning it on. Interesting sort of thing here. You've got, so this was sort of a in-between generation of type of cars. So it came out before the new Forte was redesigned. The Forte is really what carries the dash design through to a lot of our cars. The Soul, the Forte, the Seltos, they all have similar dash designs, actually right up into the Sportage, even the Sorento. This is a similar design to that. So what I mean is left side tach, right side speedometer, but this screen in the center is a different, let's just call it what it is. It's an older style screen. Does it look as nice? Maybe not. Is it functional? 100%. So you can see in the bottom, you've got temperature, outside temperature, fuel economy, goes in a bar graph, shows you that 8.4 is not all what this car gets. It's been idling into the dealership. Don't worry about the range as well, but you can see I can cycle through trip A, trip B, speed, which means a speedometer. I can put that on there, and that's all we got. So speedometer is in there, I believe. It's just in the settings. We'll change that some other time. But a little bit more simplified dash. Again, nothing wrong with it. A little bit less information, and I don't know that that's a huge deal breaker for a lot of people. We're working our way to the real surprise in this car, and it's not quite here, but we're going to see it in about a minute or so. Right here, something kind of interesting. AM/FM stereo, of course, with satellite radio. Now, you can do your Bluetooth streaming, so you can stream your music through Bluetooth if you want. That's what most people do. The interesting thing is satellite radio is no longer available on most of our base stereos, right from Sorrento, right from, doesn't matter what you talk, on down. Entry level LX style cars don't have satellite radio. Now, what's interesting about this car is you're going to save a little bit of money when you buy it. So if you want to pay for a subscription radio service, you're going to have a little money left over to do that. And of course, this doesn't just work here. You can also get the free streaming. So I have a Google speaker at home, whether you have Amazon Google speaker, you can play satellite radio in your home as well. So it might be a subscription worth thinking about because you can afford it in your car. And then, of course, you get it in your house as well through streaming services. So just something interesting there. Does the Kia Soul closer in length to the Rio or the Forte? Probably Rio. Let's talk about that in a second. That's a great question. Coming down here, interesting design here, just a unique design, simple controls. You know what's hot and cold. You know what to do with the fan speed there, and you know what to do over there as far as directing your temperature where you want it. Recirculate is just pushing this button in. Air conditioning, pushing that button on. Rear defroster, pushing that button on. And rear defroster, I'm 99% sure the side windows or side mirrors also defrost with the rear defroster. They do in every other car that we have in Kia. I'm pretty sure they do it on the Rio as well. So I'm pretty sure about that. This was where the first design came out, where we put our cell phones up here and then our other stuff down here. Now, you'll see here, no wireless charge pad up here. Not a big deal. You do have a USB port there, and you have nothing over here. Often we have another port over there, or sorry, 12-volt port over here, nothing over here. Now, a lot of you have been used to plugging in your USB port there. You get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay up here. You don't get that on the LX Plus. You can get it when you move up to that EX model, the next line up, but then you're starting to get into that Forte price range, and you may want to consider the Forte as well. So that's something to think about. Here comes the surprise. Here's the thing that nobody expects. Every Rio sold in Canada, doesn't matter what, even if it has no air conditioning, rump roasters, 3 levels of heated seats, heated steering wheel, and passenger heated seat as well. Doesn't matter what trim level you get. 2020 Rios, you buy one, you're going to get heated seats and heated steering wheel. Super cool function, super cool feature. Not something we expect. When the original Forte launched in 2019, they also had heated seats and heated steering wheel in every model. They took the heated steering wheel out of the base model of the Forte. They left it in the Rio. So if you want to get inexpensively warm in the winter, throw winter tires in this car. It's a great little winter car. They're actually fun to drive. They handle very well. They're super easy to park. And it's an all-weather car that makes you comfortable with the heated seats. And I will say the heated seats in this car, for whatever reason, I don't know if the heaters are closer to the seat. They are very hot. Like, I can't leave them on level 3. So pretty cool. How is that priority over air conditioner? Jasmine, you live in California. I live in Canada. That's pretty much all you need to know. Trust me, middle of the winter when it hurts to go outside, heated seats, heated steering wheel, all the best. All right, automatic transmission. It is a 6-speed transmission. Oh, no, it's an IVT transmission. So excuse me, when you tap it over here, you get 8 gear ratios if you want. So that means you can shift it on your own if you want. Makes it kind of fun and sporty to drive. Other than that, nice little design details in here. Just sort of a metallic look, plastic up here. I think it looks pretty sharp. The vents look small, but they work perfectly fine. Over here, you got cruise control. You'll notice the trip side in here is a little bit different. Is this a car? Yes, it is. It's the Kia Forte, or sorry, Kia Rio. Cruise control right there. Instead of having our typical trip computer, because this is, like I said, a little bit older style, you'd have a trip computer button instead of a typical computer button that you see in the rest of our cars. Same audio controls here, though. Bluetooth and audio, simple, easy to reach. And you do have automatic headlights right there as well. All right, let's jump out for a second. I'm going to take your questions if you have any. 19 of you are on. 12 of you said, hey, this guy's totally worth giving a like. He's doing a video on a Rio. Nobody is doing a video on a 2020 Rio right now. So I'm figuring somebody owes me a like for that. All right, heated comfort should be standard equipment in every car sold in Canada. Yeah, to be fair, a lot of American cars don't have heated seats where we have heated seats. They don't have heated steering wheels where we have heated steering wheels. It's rare that Canadian cars are sold without air conditioning, though. And like I said, we as a dealership, we just don't stock the no air conditioning model of this. We're just not going to sell it. All right, maybe for your new trunk measurement tool, you can get 2 Air Canada carry-on suitcases. Yeah, you know what? The duffel bag, yeah, I'm willing to talk about stuff. I think they're still looking for my teddy bear right now. That's why nobody's buying me anything new. Do you think this car can last long enough to be hand-me-down? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Rios have been around for a while. Some of our new motor now, but it's not new technology in any way. It's just a multi-port engine instead. The gasoline direct injections, when you drive them like an economy car, they can build up a little extra carbon. So you're going to do an extra service there to help you get that carbon buildup out. You'll see some of our new cars are direct injection and multi-port injection. This one has just the multi-port, so that's a good news thing. All right, trunk size. You see I got one seat down, one seat up. First thing about the Rio hatch, nice big opening. You can fit a lot of stuff in there. The other thing is all of the floors are fairly lowered down, fairly lowered. I'm really doing well at speaking for a living. All right, what I mean is this: a lot of our trunks, the Soul and other vehicles, the floor is level to here. You can see it's a long ways down here, the entire width of my hand or length of my hand. So all of that right up to my watch and beyond. Yep, right up to my watch or so is the distance from the back of the back wall here to the floor. The floor does not raise or lower like it would in the Soul. It's always down. There is no spare tire in these cars. That is common in the class now. I don't agree with it any more than you guys do, but they do it for fuel efficiency reasons and they do it for cost reasons. You can get a spare tire if you want one. So just ask for it upon when you're buying it, and you can do that. A couple little interesting things. You do have a little pocket up here, maybe great place for a little first aid kit or something. You can go camping in this car. I'm a camper. You can fit all your stuff in there. If you fold the seats down, 2 people camping, no problem. 4 people camping, it's going to be tight. You're going to have to pack light. But 2 people, not a problem. Again, you fold the seats down, tons and tons and tons of space. So you can see, quite a bit of space. I didn't bring my tape measure with me today, but quite long. And then over here, why do they still make the mold for the tire? Because basically I have a feeling in some jurisdictions you have to have a spare tire. So they still make it so you can. One thing this thing does not have installed right now is the panel right here. Let's put it on. Just going to lift it up on this side. Look at this. You guys are... All right, there we go. So we have that panel in there as well, which keeps your gear covered from the back seat. So not every small car has that. You can look in the rear window and see everything you have in the trunk. But if you have your laptop or your gym bag or something that you have stored in the trunk and you want to keep it hidden, or even just keep some of the heat off your groceries, you can do that with that cover up there. All right, I'm going to flip this seat up for a second. Fun fact, I recently put this car on Instagram, this exact car, just literally very recently, and I got stuck in the back seat. Why did I get stuck in the back seat, you ask? Because it has child locks. So if you have little children, you can just flick the key in there, turn that, and that means the inside door handles don't work. The outside door handles do work, and you can throw your kids in there, and they'll be comfortable. All right, I'm going to hop in the back seat, but I'm going to hop in the driver's side because that is where I have the seat set up to fit me. Again, I'm about 6 feet tall. Jasmine, you asked a question, a very important question. Do I have to get down or up into this car? Let's just set the camera up right here. Oh, that's kind of a poor angle. Let's just bring a chair over here. Look at the props we have to get for you. All right. Let's see if this is what you're looking for. Don't say I don't try for you guys. There's still 3 likes I haven't earned today, but let's see if we can do with that. All right, so here we go. I don't know if you can see how well this works. Yeah, let's try it. Okay, I'll hop in right now. Here we go. Do you have to get down or in? No problem. Pretty much the seat is a little lower than the Soul, similar to the Forte. A couple things I'm going to notice. Bottom of the seat, I've got tons of foot room there. A little bit of knee room. Not a ton, but I'm 6 feet tall and I'm sitting behind a 6-footer. In this classic car, that's pretty impressive. Head space, a lot. A full fist of space above my head and fairly flat floor. There is a USB port here. We'll show you in a second. Jumping over here, I still fit in the center. It's got a raised hump here. I put my knees on either side of the bump in the floor, and I've still got headroom space, the thickness of my wrist or so. So you can fit 5 people. It's going to be snug. You're going to have a little thinner people because it's not a wide car. But if you want to take your 3 friends out with you, you can fit. Can you fit an airbed along with the rear seats? No, you're going to be too short to sleep. Well, unless you're very short, but no, you wouldn't want to sleep in this car. I mean, you could, but you wouldn't want to. USB port down here, so again, your friends can keep their phones charged as well. 1 pocket on the passenger side, bottle holders in the door, so you can put your bottle holders in there. And yes, you're short. Okay, well, you could. I can't sleep in here comfortably. I have slept in the back of an old Rondo when I've gone kayaking and had to sleep in there. Maybe you can find it, help Teddy. Yeah, we got to find Teddy. So anyways, bottle holders in the door there, speakers as well. It's not just a 2-speaker car like some of this car in the class were. Other things that's kind of nice, you got a light in the center of the car. You still have 2 map lights up front. You got sunglasses holder up top there. Again, move up a trim level, you can get UVO Intelligence, which is the cheapest vehicle you can get UVO Intelligence in Canada. That's a cell phone app. You can do all kinds of things like remote start the car. However, if you don't want that feature, then you're starting to look at that Forte price. So there we go, 25 minutes in. We've kind of showed you the basics of this car. Let me just see what we've got. How much taller is the Soul than the Rio? I don't have the specs in front of me. That's the kind of thing that's really easy to find on the Kia spec sheet. So that's why I don't memorize some of those specs. Kia needs and expects a pickup truck. We can talk about that in about 5 minutes. Let's just stick to the questions on these cars if you guys have any. All right, let me just see. Yeah, thumbs up for being trapped in the prop setup. That's right. Hey, we've got a lot of thumbs up for the people on. Thanks, guys. Okay, where is Teddy? Teddy has been gone for a while. Don't know where he is. Rios were one of two of the original cars that came to Canada. That's true. Very true. One of the original nameplates with the Sportage. Actually, no, the Rio was not original. It was the Spectra before the Rio. So what else we got? Heated comfort. Yeah, okay. I'm just going through your questions, see if I missed anything. If I missed your question, go ahead and ask it again. I think I didn't miss it. Yeah, as far as comparing specs to the Rio, there are two Rios. That's one thing I should point out. We tend to not stock the Rio sedan anymore. The Rio sedan is same front end as this car, but obviously a sedan. So back seat goes like this, big trunk. Actually, great size trunk for what it is. However, again, with the Forte sitting next to it in the lot, the Forte is a much better seller. And at that price, by certain price points, it becomes a better car. The hatchback is a bit of a unique car, and that's why we keep it. 2019 Rio, but ended up trading it for 2020's Kia Soul. Well, that's cool. Kia Soul is a great car. Different price range, certainly. When this car came out, let me just clarify. When this car came out, I was really impressed with it. Compared to a Toyota Yaris, the Mazda 2, those kinds of cars that were out back then, this was a great, great, great car. We actually do very well on YouTube with the Rio. Not live so much, but with the Rio, we do very well. It's a car that nobody tests, and it's a great little car. The problem is, in 2019, Kia introduced what became the Canadian Small Car of the Year, and it was a top 3 finalist for Car of the Year, which is the Kia Forte. So Canadian Car of the Year, top 3 finalist was the Kia Forte. The Forte was so good and priced so competitively that the Rio just stopped selling as well because the Forte was that good. But when this car came out before that, still a great car, and it's still a great car if you want something shorter, smaller, easy park. What's the crash safety rating for the Rio? Good question. So last time I checked on crash safety, and you guys can update me if I'm incorrect now, but the Kia Rio, certainly when it came out in the years afterwards, was the top safety. There was not a car in its class that had a higher safety rating than the Rio. So safety is excellent on these cars. So the reason safety is excellent on these cars is all of the high strength steel in these cars. They make the high strength steel. It's an ultra high strength steel, and Kia owns a whole bunch of that steel manufacturing process. So they can put more high strength steel in these cars, and that's true for all of our cars, than anybody else can for the price class. And what that means is when you have a crash of any kind, you have a really solid passenger structure, and then the crumple zones are also really good as well. So you end up being safe in a crash. The big thing in crash safety now, because a lot of people have figured out how to crash a car, the big thing in crash safety now is crash avoidance, collision avoidance. And that's where you see all these lane keeping, collision avoidance type things that you see. Looks like cross rails are available. Yes, you can get cross rails for this car. You can throw your roof box on top if you've got more luggage. Take a bike, take a canoe, take a kayak, those kinds of things. Not a problem. You can get all kinds of little accessories for this. Yeah, so that's something interesting there. Think Kia is better than Mitsubishi? Oh, yeah, Kia is better than Mitsubishi. Customer service, well, Mitsubishi doesn't have me, so if you guys need customer service, you just call me. There's that. All right, we are at 29 minutes in. I've said everything I can about this car. This is the most basic car we have. If you guys have a question, I'm happy to answer it, and we'll go from there. Real quickly, should you wait for the next generation? Here's what I know of the next generation. There is going to be a 2021 Kia Rio. There may be a slight redesign of stuff. I would expect to see that Apple CarPlay, Android Auto screen standard on lower trim levels at some point. There will be probably some software updates inside. There is talk of a mild hybrid, so basically, not a full hybrid, but a mild hybrid, kind of like a start-stop system that keeps things running. There's talk of that for fuel efficiency, and I would say that's an interesting option. I don't know if that's coming to Canada, but we will see that. Is Rio5 different than 2020 Rio? So Rio5 is the hatchback. 2020 Rio would be the sedan, but is it different for 20? Sorry, Jasmine, ask that question again. I didn't quite understand what you're asking there. Are you saying, is it different than the 20? Yeah, I'll let you ask that again because I wasn't quite following there. I'm just reading some of the other questions that came in on the big screen here. I don't see. Okay, so I'll wait for your question again, and I'll try to answer it there. And sorry, I'm just waiting for one question that I missed, and then I will answer it, and then we'll carry on. And if we have to go off topic, we can go off topic real quick. Is Rio5 different from, looked at Rio online and it looks way different. Oh, so this is the 2020 Rio or Rio5. The 2021 may have some redesigns. We'll see. This guy is boss in Kia reviews. I think that's a compliment, so thank you. Yeah, so we do know it's going to have some refreshed aspects, but it's the same basic car coming for 2021. If it goes into a mild hybrid, you're going to have a little bit more complicated system. What's new for 2020 is the new engine and transmission, great for fuel efficiency, but I think it might be the last of the real simple cars. Like I said, no lane keep. Anything with lane keep, the car is capable of steering itself. No collision avoidance systems at all in this car. You do have ABS, traction control, those kind of things, stability control, vehicle stability control. So still a very safe car. But yeah, I think this is going to be the last of our real simple cars. You're going to end up with more and more high-tech cars as we move forward, and not really a ton of high technology in this car, which may be something you want to consider as far as long-term durability. There's just simply less things to go wrong in this car. That's one reason I would say it's a great car for you. All right, we are 31 minutes in. I think we're going to go that. Can we expect a stick shift with higher Rio trims like in Europe? Not in Canada, likely. They are moving away from that, and that's not Kia Canada's fault. That's simply Canadians don't buy them. Now, in Quebec, there are still a number of people that buy stick shift, and they like their small cars with stick shift. So, there's a potential that that market will be enough to draw for the rest of Canada. That being said, I would not expect a stick shift. The only stick shift that we're going to get in not base trim that I know about is the Forte 5 GT. One trim line, Forte 5 GT. I had it in here yesterday. The orange car that was in here yesterday, that car will come with a manual transmission for 2021. It might just be a 1-year thing. So other than base models in Canada, and I'm talking very base models, you probably will not see many more Kia stick shifts. I think the Soul technically might have a stick shift. I don't remember. We haven't had one of them here, if at all. Maybe not. Actually, I don't think the Soul is. Awesome job, Brad. Kia is worth the drive from downtown Toronto for sale, 100%. That's why we do these videos. We're hoping to earn your business. We happen to be worldwide on our videos, which is kind of fun. We've got a lot of new stuff coming up. I'm going to do a lot more walk-arounds. We're going to do a 2021 Kia Sedona, which we'll talk about. We're going to do a film video on that soon. K5 is coming, guys. As soon as it gets here, we're going to do a whole bunch of video on that. I'm still planning to spend some time with a Seltos, do some time at night. Why is this a 5-door? Great question. Canada is pretty common. Europe, it's pretty common. In any car in Canada and Europe where the hatch or the trunk opens into the car, in other words, it's not just a trunk, it opens into the car, they call it a door. So it's a 5-door. So 4 doors in a trunk would be a sedan. Technically, this is a 5-door because the trunk opens into the car. So the Stinger is actually a 5-door as well, which nobody calls it that, but it is a hatchback officially. And so there we go. That's why we do it. That's why we call it that. It's more of a European thing that has carried into Canada. I don't know that they say the same thing in the States. That's why it's called the Rio5 in Kia speak. So there we go. I think that's good enough. 21 people on, 18 people gave me a like. That's a good ratio. If there's 3 of you out there that feel like giving an extra like, or if we could even hit more likes than people watching right now, that would be awesome. If I can earn your subscription, that'd be great. We've a lot of content coming up. This fall is going to be amazing for videos. We've kind of run out of the old guard here for videos, but this fall is going to be awesome. We've got a lot of things planned, including some new videos, new vehicles. So it's going to be a good trip. So if you guys want to subscribe, that'd be great. 19 likes. I appreciate all your likes today. And we will be back again, not tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to be off. Just some personal stuff going on. Nothing, not a big deal. Don't worry about me. I'm good. And then Thursday I'm back and we'll do that. And then remember, Monday I'm gone because it is a holiday Thanksgiving, or as I like to call it, real Thanksgiving on this coming weekend. So have a great day, everyone. We will talk to you again on Thursday.